Everyone. I'm going to review these stocks. Basically looking at the 5 minute, the 3 month, and the 3 year if I need to. Basically looking for all-time highs and things like that. So we'll start off with CRM. It's basically a flat day. I believe it had earnings. Um, Serious gap down. Um, Tried to recover but never broke the 5 minute high. Um, this quite the candle here. Um, so what I think is going to happen tomorrow is we're going to move and try to fill this gap. Um, it needs the market, I think, to do that. Um, but this was a serious gap. Um, it did fire short on the daily, um, moving towards oversold. Sellers are definitely in control, and the ADX is moving up. Play it by the 5 minute, but if the market cooperates and we see a green day, and if we break that high of basically 226, um, look to start filling this gap. Um, BNTX, which is new, again, another pretty flat day. Um, it is interesting, actually. It's not overbought. Buyers are in control. Um, ADX low and starting to rise. Um, it's actually at its 3 year, close to its 3 year high, which it made today. No, it made yesterday. Um, Nice average lines. Um, this might be interesting. Look for this to continue green. It basically gapped up, sold off, and then the buyers came in and bought it again. So that's a signal of strength. Um, Google. Nice 5 minute day. Did start down, but then um, recovered. Would have been nice to catch this at the 5 minute high, which basically triggered a fired long on the squeeze. The daily's going into a squeeze, nearing overbought territory, but the buyers are definitely in control. Um, Again, and I think you're going to hear me say this a lot, um, but made an all-time, actually a 3 year high today. Um, I'd look for strength still. Um, it may need to retrace or basically consolidate to digest these moves. Um, but let's do this. Let's look, um, and you got to bear with me because sometimes I don't draw these correctly. Swing, and let's take this low. So basically from this swing, high to low, we're already at 127%. Um, some do make it 160%. It'll be interesting. I think one to watch. Cisco, again, another nice 5 minute high. Gapped up at the morning, retraced to the 5 minute high, and support came in and basically buyers continued. Um, the squeeze is rolling over, um, but that doesn't mean it's going to basically drop. It is getting a little extended. Um, Made a high yesterday, could not get up to that high, but it did close on the high end. Um, Tesla, fairly flat day. Um, Bounced around the 5 minute high. Um, did gap down this morning, but then buyers came in right away, and you see this with the 5 minute gap down, consolidated a little bit, and then buyers took over. Nice that it tagged um, this blue line is actually the 10 SMA. Um, Overbought, but kind of today did well. This will be interesting to see if buyers take over and continue push up. Um, but look at that. 607. Yesterday was I'm guessing it's all-time high, at least the 3-year high. Um, Myrna, um, based on the weather, based on news, vaccines are coming out. We saw this with RAD. Um, Again, close to the 5 minute high. Um, Actually, that's 10 points. So 10 divided by 14, um, 0.7%. Um, Again, like I said, this is based totally on news. This total gap up and then sell off. Let's see if those guys can reclaim that high. It is overbought. ADX is quite high. Um, Yesterday did help to move that RSI down, but again, it's still in the overbought territory. Look at this weekly candle. Um, that is, and I wish I could see the range. Hmm, oops. High, low, close. Doesn't give me a range. Hmm. 128 to 78. 50 points. 50 divided by 178. Oops. 28% in 1 week. Crazy. Um, so again, it'll be interesting to see what this does. But again, like I said, it's totally based on news. Pfizer, another drug company. Um, Buyers basically trapped these buyers up here. Um, but basically stuck within the 5 minute range. This is interesting because this does not make sense. Getting towards overbought, but this squeeze looks to fired short. Um, but it'll be interesting to see if that can pull up. Um, but you see this basically top candle, meaning that buyers push it up but couldn't hold it. 42 is the high. Um, so we're basically 4% from the high. Um, See what tomorrow is. But again, um, these are kind of drug related, and um, that's pretty much what's in the news right now. AXP, American Express. Nice 5 minute day. Tagged the low, but basically buyers came in. Um, had a nice run up um, and closed near the high. Um, I used to trade this quite a bit, so that's why you see this ugly looking chart or all of these drawings. But again, we're basically trying to fill this huge gap down, and that is at 130-ish. Um, and you can kind of see where these swings are, swing high to swing low. Basically dropped to 50%, tried to retrace but couldn't, but still kind of around a third. Gapped up probably on earnings. Um, we'll see if it can make that. Um, Getting sort of overbought. ADX is moving up and the buyers are in control. We'll see where this goes. Netties. Bad day, but paying a dividend. So when they go ex dividend, um, it the stock will drop by the dividend amount the day after. So the people that held it, um, dividend on 12/3. Um, so that is tomorrow. So people that held it, that hold it by the end of the day tomorrow, um, will get that dividend. And then basically the clock starts over. So like I said, expect that drop by the dividend amount. Um, Daily is not looking well. Um, could see a pushback if this doesn't hold here. Um, Low of 87. So if 87 doesn't hold, then look to push down to 85. This might be a short candidate um, for tomorrow. Sellers are definitely in control. R RSI is in the middle, so it's got, ways to go. Um, but the ADX is low. Let's see if we can push that up. Um, Again, like I said, this might be a good short. X. X has been on a roll and today had an awesome day. I was in this earlier, made a little bit, but did not make as much as I could have. I think I was in the 15 and a halves. Um, Not sure which candle got me out along the way, um, but I know I didn't see um, a dollar for those calls because they would have been in the money by a dollar. Um, Again, we're at the highs, the 3 month highs, but nowhere close um, to the 3 year high. Um, RSI is overbought, but the RSI has been overbought since here. If you look, overbought takes a breather. Overbought takes a breather. And notice two candles taking a break, two candles. This might be interesting. ADX is way up there. I don't know if buyers come in tomorrow, it'll be euphoria. But one to watch because um, if it consolidates like it has in the past, um, there's not going to be much movement. Cliffs, one of my new favorites, because again, another nice 5 minute high or 5 minute trading day. Um, this is at its 3 month high, and its 3 year high is actually 13.1. So we're basically 5% away from that that all-time high. But again, RSI is quite cooked. And again, look at this. Green, green, take a break. Green, green. It'll be interesting to see if this takes a break. Buyers are definitely in control. ADX is high and rising. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we consolidate tomorrow. PLTR. Basically a flat day along its 5-minute high. Um, Planetaire, I don't even know what this guy. 1431. Planetaire plummets after Morgan Stanley downgrades, and there it is. Um, it did end the day green, meaning buyers, it dropped, but buyers came in control and basically bought it, which is good because it basically dropped the RSI below 70. Um, It'll be interesting. This one might gap fill. Um, 2 points, so basically 10%. Um, but the RSI or the ADX is high and coming down. Um, this will be one to watch as well. Um, if we have a green day, um, I would look for this to fill the gap back up to 24. CGC, canopy growth. Basically a relatively flat day. I shouldn't say that because it was up 5%. Um, Again, we see a lot of this. It's not near its all-time high or 3-year high. RSI was cooked, way overbought, and then the 2-day drop. So it's technically not overbought, but it's getting up there. Um, Another one to watch on the 5-minute. Um, but if it does what it did today, that's not a good 5-minute high candidate. Because it has such a huge first 5-minute candle. Um, and I believe this is probably right near the low of yesterday. So look at um, yesterday, buyers bought near the top and sold off the whole day. Now, buyers came in at the beginning and bought the whole day. But again, such a high 5-minute candle, it's hard to get in. And then most of its move is in the first 5 minutes. RTX, another one of my favorites. Briefly talked with Alan in regards to this one. Um, he's waiting for Iran to do something. If you haven't heard the news, um, I forgot who took out one of their science guys. So they're looking for revenge. And if that happens, defense stocks will get a pop. Basically didn't do much until the afternoon, but as soon as it broke this 5-minute high around 10 or 11 Eastern, came up, tested the 5-minute high, came up, tested the 5-minute high, and then broke through. A couple ways to play this. You can get in right when it breaks the 5-minute high, hold through this breakthrough, and set your stop at the 5-minute low, or wait for a retest of the 5-minute high that bounces. Um, Again, you'd see profits get disappointed when they'd lose, but then look at it bounced off of it again. So the 5-minute, the daily was high, overbought um, back last Friday. Um, Sold off, tested the 5-minute or the 10 SMA, and it looks sort of like it's holding. Um, But again, this is one that if news hits that Iran does something, it's going to pop back to 75. Um, Netflix. I heard this one sold off. Um, Sold off then recovered. This one's kind of interesting. It is in actually, it just fired long from a 5 minute squeeze. And for those of you that don't know what this TTM squeeze indicator is, um, let's do this. Netflix. Oy. Netflix on the daily. Um, Had a study. Bollinger Bands. Add a study. Keltner channel. And just for S&Gs, let's throw in John Carter's TTM squeeze. So if we look, it's squeezed here. Basically, um, the Bollinger Bands squeeze into the Keltner channels. And there's a way, if anybody's interested, to scan for these stocks that have fired long on the daily, stocks that have fired short. Um, but basically, the Bollinger Bands squeeze into the Keltner channels, and when they come back out, um, if they come back out on the high side, they fire long. John Carter developed this, and for those of you that don't know John Carter, he has a simpler options, been trading forever, but he developed this indicator on the belief that a stock squeezes, and then when it fires, it will fire with momentum and move quite a bit. So we'll see if that holds true. So that's what this squeeze indicator indicates. It's got lot of room to move on the high end. Buyers are in control, and the ADX is moving up. This is actually a um, very good daily chart for bulls, I believe. Watch around the 520 range because that's where it may hit resistance. Um, Interesting because this gap after earnings tried to fill it but never did. Um, so, like I said, watch for 520. So your first move is above this 5 minute high, or no, daily high of let's say 5, 9.5. And then if it gets that, look to move to 520. Again, a good daily bullish swing trade if you're interested. Facebook, Mike posted that he turned his head and it was gone to the races, probably around here. But again, it sold and then the bulls took advantage. Um, Nothing really extraordinary on the daily. Um, Nearing its high, our 3 year high. Um, Bullish moves and not overbought. So again, I think this is a bullish candidate. ADX is quite low. Um, so may move. Um, and if you notice, this there are three indicators on this. The blue is the buyers, the yellow is the sellers, and you can see when here the sellers are in control until the buyers take over, which is this cross. And if you notice this ADX, this is the movement, basically how big these candles are. So bigger movement, bigger candles, um, and it portrays to the daily as well. Um, look at this drop from here to here. So quite big ADX. Amazon, and it dropped down, but the buyers controlled, but kind of basically within this 5 minute candle. Not a good candidate for the 5 minute trade because again, this is such a big um, 20 points, such a big candle for what it moved today. Um, Basically consolidating. Um, what I would look to do if I was trading this on the daily, um, trend line. And if you want to draw a pennant, you can. Um, but anyway, not one of my stocks. Too expensive for me. Snap. You know what? I should probably go and delete those drawings. But anyway, nice 5 minute chart. Actually, an incredible 5 minute chart. Closed at its high. Um, Closed at its 3 year high. Um, let's see this guy. Daily goes back 2320. I wonder if this is at all-time high. I bet it is. Yeah, looks like it is. Um, RSI's up there on the daily, but not overbought yet. Buyers are in control. Um, let's see what I want to. Let's do that. This one will be interesting. Big move today. Basically, gapped up, sold off, reclaimed all of those sellers. So, again, like I said, a great 5 minute trade had anyone seen it. And last but not least, the SPY, how the market's doing. Um, at its highs, um, actually yesterday was its highs. Uh, let's see what this is. Not overbought. I think the market's kind of based on the news. We've had Tuesday and Wednesday were green days. Not a lot of movement, but buyers are in control. Let's see if we can break above this 367.68. So hopefully that helped. I will talk to you guys later.